Okay, let's just back up. I said that this is how to add $100,000 to your consulting or coaching business by getting ideal clients consistently. And I made the point that if you're on this webinar, you've probably been on many other webinars before. Although if you're watching the recording, I forgot to turn on the recording. I'm taking it back 2 minutes for you. 9 out of 10 webinars are very much the same. This is the fast version. And I think that's because there's some truth that you find in all of them. I think that's because there are lots of copycats, imitation. And I think it's also because, well, another lesson that we learn from this rather is that information is not enough. There's something more that we need in addition to information. Now, what is that something more? For some people, that something more that really drives their business is a very strong personality, especially if we see it online in the expert space, the guru space, and so on. Strong personality, even if it's offline, it definitely helps. The thing is that not everybody wants to be the celebrity type. Not everybody wants to be the charismatic guru. Not everybody's meant to be that type. I don't think I am. And the question is, what if, what if you don't want to be like that? What if you just want to do great work for great clients and be very well paid for it, right? What if you just want to replace and exceed your corporate salary? What if you want to go from six-figure executive to six-figure consultant, coach, or expert? Can you do that? Can you just do that without having to become this big personality? Without having to build this massive platform, big authority, and so on. All the things that everybody talks about. And I've discovered that you can. I've discovered that there are two paths to thrive, to succeed, to do really well as an expert, consultant, coach, and so on. There is the path of the charismatic guru, which we've been talking about. There's also the path of mastery. Now, most of what we see online is presented by these charismatic guru types. Again, nothing wrong with them. You just have to be aware that there are two paths. And, most people are not suited for that path, but they're on it. They ended up on it. Why? Because, you wake up in the morning, you're good at what you do. You want to quit that corporate job, let's say. Many of the people we help are corporate refugees. You want to quit the corporate job. Go out, start your own thing. And you ask, well, how do I get clients? And you look around and they're most visible. And they say, hey, do what I did, do this, that, and that. And it's great for many people, but I think there are even more people for whom it's not right. And what happens is those more, probably including me and you, we try to follow, learn from them. But there's one, follow them down that path of the charismatic guru. But there's one thing they cannot give to you, or to me, or to anybody, and that is that strong personality. That is that desire to be celebrity. That is that, it's that extra bit that they can't teach. And I think it's really important that you realize that you don't have to do that, because what often happens is you're taking steps down that path, and then suddenly you find that you're being asked to be somebody that you don't want to be, to do things you really don't want to be doing. It's just not you. It just doesn't feel right. You're not looking for that. And yet you have this inner knowing that I'm here to do good work. I really have a lot to offer, a lot to contribute. But, and like you just kind of torn. But how? How do I do that? You probably know exactly what I mean. Feel free to type that in the chat and let me know. So most of what we see is the charismatic guru type teaching those who belong on the path of mastery. So if you belong on the path of mastery, number one, I want you to realize that there is a better option for you, that there is such a thing as a path of mastery. And number two, in the next hour plus, I want to walk you back off the path of the charismatic guru and onto the path of mastery. I want to show you what that looks like. All right. Let's first get something simple out of the way, and that is necessary. It's necessary for the path of mastery, and that is cause and effect. And I think everybody believes in cause and effect, so it's a bit of a facetious question. Do you believe in cause and effect? Do you believe that what you do influences the results that you get? Do you believe that what you do influences the results that you get? And I'm going to assume the answer is yes. And if so, you have to realize, internalize, that it's not what you know that gets you clients, that grows your business, of course. It's what you do. It's not what you know, it's what you do. And it's not only what you do, but it's how well you do it. Your level of skill matters. And it's not only how well you do it, it's how consistently you do it. If you do it really well, but just sometimes, you're not going to get so far. If you do it really well, consistently, you're going to get the results consistently, because what you do affects the results that you get. But it's not even what you do and how well you do it and how consistently you do it. It's very much about how you're being as a person while you're doing it. How are you being as a person? The way I think about it is that you need to be the one who naturally causes the results that you want. You need to be the one who naturally causes the results that you want. That's just an observation that I made that really is essential to a lot of the way we work. And that's why I was brazen enough to quote myself in my own webinar. With this approach, we've seen clients' lives change, because there's a big difference between information and just trying to follow information versus understanding it, like really deeply understanding what you know, that information, right? And then because when you deeply understand something, at least we need to, like the people who belong on the path of mastery need to really understand what we're trying to do. It's a really, you feel kind of lost and overwhelmed if you're trying to follow some blueprint, some advice, but you don't really understand the thinking behind it. I'm going to share with you something that you're going to walk away deeply understanding the thinking behind this. You're going to more deeply understand the thinking behind things you already know that you didn't understand yet. So understanding and implementation, this is what creates a real change in the life of people who belong on the path of mastery. For example, Muhammad, who was a client, he still hangs around our world, but this is something he posted not too long ago. And I don't know if you could see this. It says, this is from our online forums. A year ago, before the 100-day sprint, I would have never imagined I'd be stressing about turning away prospects just because there's multiple paths I could take. He went from a point where he couldn't get enough clients to where he was turning away, trying to decide who should I turn away. Because, when you come from a place of struggle, it's really hard to start turning away clients. You go from a place of, where are my clients going to come from, to a place where you've got so many clients that you get to choose. That's what it is in short. That's what happens when you go from just collecting information to deeply understanding and implementing consistently. Philip Nickerson is an aquaculture engineer in Canada, works with lobster farms. And before he started working with us in this systematic, structured kind of way, he was working 2/3 time at some kind of lobster farm there. He and his wife and their family, they had moved to a city far from where they grew up, from where their families were, for his job. And he was running his own little business 2/3 on the side. He was making less than $100,000 a year. We helped him put 3 key things in place, marketing and sales-wise. Helped him go from a lot of information, because he had studied from marketing before and sales from all the various different types of gurus and experts. And so he knew a lot, but he was struggling to make it work for himself. And this is an email he sent me at the end of 2016. I actually did some work for him about a month ago. And again, he's coming in at about 2 million for 2017. He lets me share this. Now, it's not all in his pocket. He has some employees now. He has some expenses. There's some construction involved in what he does. But he and his wife, they moved their family back to the city where they really wanted to live. Last time I was doing some extra consulting for him, it was the last thing he was doing. I think it was a Tuesday midday. Then he was taking the afternoon off. He's been taking Tuesday afternoons off, I believe he told me. And he was going ice skating on the lake with his kids because the lake had just frozen over. This is, this is what happens when you stop going after something you don't deeply understand and instead attain that understanding and then the consistency. This is a guy, many of our clients, I said, are corporate refugees or want to be corporate refugees. This is a guy who, he he worked at, I think he retired now, I'll tell you what. He's in Europe, was working at a major blue chip company. Everybody here knows that company. And he was coming to retirement age around 60, and he wanted to retire with his girlfriend to spend, I think, at least 6 months a year in the Caribbean. He wanted to be able to work 3 days a week and have a 4-day weekend. Well, while still working a full-time job, you know, we got him up to a place where he was making 50,000 euro a year. This is also going back to about a year ago when he hit this. And he's taking long vacations. I believe that in the last few months, he quit. He finally retired, quit his job, and I believe he's doing much better than this, but this is a screenshot I have. This guy is currently working hard. He's got a 7-figure business, service type business. And like me, I also still work hard. Neither of us are ready to retire yet, but also he's working. I'm just trying to show you people at different stages in life, but he shared with us about how, you know, something that we'd help him put in place to help him get a nice big contract. And again, none of this is coming from strong personality. It's coming from simple system and structure. Okay, you do not have to, you know, if you're on the path of the Charismatic Guru and you're feeling stuck, you're feeling that tension, I want to walk you back now to the path of mastery, where it's all about, you know, understanding and implementation. So from here till the end of this training, I'm going to help you deeply understand things that you already know. And I'm going to show you how to turn them into a consistent flow of ideal clients. And at the end, I will suggest an easy next step that you might want to take and get my help. And of course, that's something you can choose to do or not. We don't have that much space, so I don't chase no hard sell. But, you know, there are some people here who it might be a really good idea for. All right. The first thing that you need to deeply understand is that it is not about tactics. It's not about Facebook ads or public speaking or search engine optimization or launches, JVs, webinars, funnels, email marketing. It's not about any of this. What you need to notice, and I bet you have noticed this on some level, is that every tactic can work and every tactic can fail. And the question we need to ask ourselves is, when it works, why does it work? And when it fails, why does it fail? And I want to show you that when it works, it's because it has this thing that we call marketing helium, right? I'm going to show you what that is, and I'm going to lay it all out. But the key here, realize everything could work and everything could fail. And it's not about this guy or that guy who says, ooh, do this. Everyone has to do my favorite tactic. Everyone's got to be blogging or doing Facebook ads or LinkedIn or whatever it might be. No, everyone can work. Everyone can fail. And if you want to succeed by taking the path of mastery as opposed to the path of the Charismatic Guru, then you need to understand let's look for patterns. Let's look to understand. When it works, why does it work? When it fails, why does it fail? And as I said, when it works, it has what we call marketing helium. So what is this marketing helium? If you have a red balloon and a blue balloon, red balloon, blue balloon, and you fill the red balloon with helium and you blow up the blue balloon with your own hot air, the red balloon is going to soar, the blue balloon is going to fall. Are you going to say red balloons fly and blue balloons fall? No, you'll say helium makes a balloon fly and my own hot air makes the balloon fall. A tactic is like the balloon. It could work and it could fail. It's the different color balloon isn't what does it. It's what you put inside. So when you learn to fill your tactics, whatever tactic you choose to use, whatever tactic you prefer that you want to get good at, when you learn to fill that with marketing helium, any tactic can work for you. If you're filling your tactics with a bunch of marketing hot air, no tactic will work for you. They will all flop. Now, when you learn to do that systematically and consistently, and you do it, day in, day out, you're working that as a process, well, you get a consistent flow of leads and a consistent flow of ideal clients from those leads. So that's what it means. Now, if we don't start with tactics, then where do we start? If you're not starting with tactics like most people do, where do you start? And the answer is you start in the mind of your ideal client. You start in the mind and the heart of your ideal client. And something I want you to know is that your ideal client has only 3 questions, really. There are only 3 questions that this person has, these people. And if you help them answer yes, yes, and yes to their questions in order, then they will go from total stranger to happy, satisfied, well-paying client. Okay? Meaning, they have question number 1, and if your marketing and selling system helps them answer yes, then they think of question 2. If your marketing and selling system, marketing funnel, if you like, helps them answer yes, then they have question 3. And if it helps them answer yes, then they make a decision and they buy from you. They want to work with you. They send you money. And you're doing great work with great clients and earning a great living. Now, I'm going to show you what those 3 questions are. And then I'm going to show you how to build a simple marketing and selling system on top of these 3 questions. Because again, if we're not starting, if the starting place is not this or that tactic, then the starting place has got to be the mind and heart of the ideal client. Well, where is that? It is these 3 questions. I'm going to share those with you and let me know if you see and if you agree. Question number 1, the first question that anybody asks when they come across you, your marketing, your message, it doesn't matter what tactic. The first question is, should I pay attention? Is it interesting? If their brain goes, yeah, that is interesting, then they have a new question, a second question, which is, can I trust you? And if their brain, because of your marketing and your message or whatever you're doing, leads their brain rather to conclude, yes, I can trust you, then instantly they have a third question, which is what you recommend right for me? Is what you recommend right for me? So again, there are 3 questions and it looks kind of like this. Their first question is it interesting? Should I pay attention? Is it interesting? And over here, we got the marketing and selling system, funnel if you like. And the job of your marketing and selling system is to help them answer yes. And then instantly they have question number 2. Can I trust you? And again, the job is to lead them to answer yes. And then they have a third question, is what you recommend right for me? Yes. And we actually break this down further and we say that the marketing and selling system breaks into 6 pieces, 6 parts. Parts 1 and 2 help them answer yes to question 1. 3 and 4 help them answer yes to question 2. 5 and 6 help them answer yes to question number 3. So let's now walk through these questions and I'm going to show you what these pieces are and how it works and how you lay this out and build a simple, repeatable marketing and selling system. And then you work it and get a predictable, consistent result. And every now and then I will stop for a sip of coffee. Throat's a bit scratchy, I'm not sure why. All right, and again, if you do have any questions, use the Q&A box to find somewhere on your screen. Type in your questions, we'll get to them a little bit later. And I will also, a little bit later, be very happy to actually have conversations with you. I mean, I'm keeping my video on. We're certainly happy to chat, but also to talk if you'd like. All right, okay. All right, so Lewis asks, are those the only 3 questions? Okay, Lewis, good question. Here's what I'm saying. Those are the only 3 questions. Everything else fits under one of those 3 umbrellas. It fits into one of those 3 buckets. Is that clear? Good question, right? So, and if you think about it, I mean, in the chat, everybody, let me know. If you think about it, does that make sense? Can you see how pretty much every time you're thinking of buying something, first should I pay attention? Is it interesting? Yeah, okay. Huh, it is interesting. Yeah, but who are you? Can I trust you? Are you for real? Do you know your stuff? Do you actually care about me, or are you just trying to sell something? You actually do seem to know your stuff. You do seem to care. You do seem to want more than just to make a sale. Okay. Then, all right, now what do you recommend? And is what you recommend right for me? So obviously there are going to be lots of smaller details along the way. But the idea is when you have this as a framework, when your starting point is not LinkedIn or Facebook ads or blogging or Twitter or whatever it is, when your starting point is these 3 questions, that means you're starting, everything you're doing is working backwards from the mind of your ideal client, from the questions that they're asking anyway. Does that clarify, Louis? And Paul says, yes, thinking from the client's perspective, they have a need to be filled and money to spend. All right, sounds good. Okay, So I'm going to close, I'm going to kind of put the chat aside. You can still put, add things, and we'll see it a little bit later. All right, piece number one is what we call a full tank of marketing helium. And I talked about this a little bit earlier. This is where it's going to fit, right? Marketing helium is the root. It is the foundation. It is what makes everything else fly, right? Okay, so, Miriam, who's here at support, said there are some other questions in here, all from the same person, anonymous attendee. I'll just run through these quickly. Do I need to keep the order of the questions in all cases? Well, as we walk this through, you'll see it's not that you need to keep the order. It's that is the order that people will naturally ask these questions. All right. Now, it is fractal. I'm not going to go into that right now, but generally it is in that order. Can you skip one of them in some cases? I do not think so. Do you need always to ask all three questions? Okay, answer that. Not really, not in all times. I'm not sure what you were responding to. Probably something that I said. All right. I guess maybe that was you disagreeing with me asking, is that your experience? And that's okay. All right. So piece number one is the full tank of marketing helium. What does this mean? Well, a lot of things will get, we said that you need to get, their question is, should I pay attention? Is it interesting? And there is a distinction between attention and interest. A lot of things will get your attention, but only a couple of things get your interest, right? A loud noise will get your attention until you realize that it's nothing to be worried about. If a funny joke will get your attention until, you got to go, the joke's over and you got to go back to work. Those are things that get attention. But interest is where you change your plans. Interest is where you've got a booth at a conference, let's say, and people walk by and you get their attention because of the sign, and then you also get their interest. They don't keep walking. They head over to talk to you. Attention might be that they see your Facebook ad as you scroll, or they see that you're giving a speech at a conference and you're one of the options, one of the sessions they can go attend to. Interest is when they click on it. Interest is they go to your session. Again, it's the same principle regardless of the tactic that you use. So there's a difference between attention and interest. A lot of things will get attention, but very few things, only two things get interest. And you need to understand that, because what you're looking for is interest. As an executive, as an entrepreneur, executive, or so on, your goal is to get the attention and the interest of your ideal clients, and to be able to do it in a systematic, consistent way. Well, the good news is, as I said, there are only two things that anybody is really interested in. And that is if you're talking about a problem they have and don't want, and or if you're talking about a result they want and don't have. So the very first thing that you need, piece number one, in order to help them answer, yes, is it interesting? The very first thing that you need is what we call marketing helium. You've got to understand, you've got to have deep insight into your ideal client. You need to know what is a problem they have and don't want. What is a result they want and don't have? That if I talk about that in my marketing, in my messaging, in whatever I'm doing, in my ad, in my speech, it's the subject, right? Whatever tactic you use, if I talk about that, it'll get their attention and interest, because, hey, you're talking about a problem I have and don't want. You're talking about a result I want and don't have. Their brain goes constantly going. The brain is constantly asking, should I pay attention? I mean, there's so many things we could pay attention to. And their brain goes, yeah, pay attention. Hey, is that interesting? Oh yeah, change plans. I'm going to come over and find out what you're all about. So this is what we mean by marketing helium. All right. Now, this is piece number one, a full tank of marketing helium. Piece number two is expanding on that and crafting it into a simple, compelling message. A simple, compelling message. Now, these are two that work together. You cannot have a simple, compelling message unless it's rooted on marketing helium. And I'm now going to give you some examples, because this sounds simple, but there's nuance and skill here. So I want to be sure that you really understand what I'm trying to say. So, well, actually, there's one other point that I forgot, and that is that when you're crafting a simple, compelling message, it has it's two ingredients. Really, there's the problem they have and the result they want don't have, or the marketing helium, And then there's your opinions about what causes their problem, your opinions about what will enable their result. These are also things that it's where those two overlap. That's where you can craft a simple, compelling message. And I'm referring both to a one-liner, like an answer to what do you do? I'm also referring to the messaging that you give ongoing. So for example, if you send out emails, if you know, any kind of ongoing contact that you have with people or that you're trying to get in front of people, there's always a message you're putting out there, and it has to be simple, clear, and compelling. So these are two ingredients. Now, let me show you some examples. So, you know, a number of years ago, we had somebody on a webinar, and on his website, it said, what do? We sell dashboards and reports that help executives deliver better business results, right? We sell dashboards and reports that help executives deliver better business results. Now, I ask you, what problem does he help solve? What result does he enable? And does that sound like it's going to get the attention and interest of their ideal clients? Feel free to type in the chat. Let's participate. We'll keep all of us awake. All right, Lewis asks, so for instance, creating a big claim that says it can solve a problem or earn a result. Yes. I mean, I don't know exactly what you have in mind, but in theory, yes. Although, you know, creating a big claim, as long as it's true, of course, because otherwise we get stuck on the next question of, can I trust you? All right, Simon says it's too vague. I think you're right, Simon. And that is, there's nothing specific here. We sell dashboards and reports that help executives deliver better business results. Now, if somebody is specifically looking for dashboards, then they may, you know, they might notice it, right? If they're looking for dashboards, then maybe they'll notice it. However, that wasn't this guy's ideal client, right? So this guy's ideal client is Joe's CEO. Joe's CEO runs a $50 million a year business, and he wakes up in the morning, and you know what's on Joe's mind? What's on his mind is, why can't I get the data that I need from this multi-million-dollar information system that we just put in so that I can make these difficult pricing decisions? Now, I want you to imagine two scenarios. In both scenarios, you can put a billboard. There's a billboard right opposite Joe CEO's front door. And you could put on that billboard anything you want to sell him your dashboards and reports. In scenario number one, you put this up here and it says, we sell dashboards and reports that help executives deliver better business results. And you know what happens? Joe's CEO walks out his front door, walks to his car, drives to the office. He doesn't even notice your billboard. In scenario number two, instead, what you have is it says, we help you get the data you need from your multi-million-dollar information system so you can make difficult pricing decisions. Where'd you get that from, right? You put this opposite his front door on the billboard. It says, we help you get the data you need from your multi-million-dollar information system so you can make difficult pricing decisions. Same Joe CEO, same billboard, same car, walks out the front door, his jaw drops because you're speaking aloud exactly what he's been thinking about, and he's on the phone with your company before his rear end hits the seat of his car. Can you see the difference? Can you feel the difference? I bet you can feel the difference, okay? Right? Yeah, John pointed out they're selling the product rather than addressing the pain, right? Can you guys feel the difference in between the two billboard examples? Okay, good. Let's keep moving. Here's another example from a client who, said, she had left. She had been the CEO of, not CEO. She had been the head of marketing. She'd been the head of marketing at a large billion-dollar construction firm. She had 50 people working in her marketing department. She left to become a leadership consultant, a management consultant. And she was really struggling. A year later, she found out, she discovered, as so many of our corporate refugee clients discover, that the skills that enable you to thrive as a successful executive are not the skills that you need to thrive as an independent consultant, coach, or expert. So she found us somehow, and we really helped her turn things around. One thing I asked her to do was, okay, you want to succeed as an independent consultant, coach, or expert? Got it. What are some problems that you help solve, results you enable? Because a year later, after she left that job to be a consultant, she ended up just helping people set up low-end websites. It was not what she wanted to do. Nothing wrong with that if that is what you want to do, but it's not what she wants to do. So we helped her. I sat her down. I said, I want you to make a list of all the things that you can do, meaning not all the things you can do. I said that wrong. That's what you should not do. Make a list of the problems that you can help solve and the results that you can enable. And she made that list, and I looked at her list and I said, that's it. You can build a business on that. And this is what it was. I can help you solve the problems you have from that employee who's too valuable to fire. Now I want you to imagine my client, a management leadership consultant, talking to, at some networking event, and there's her, the CEO of a $500 million a year business. And it's my client, it's her and some other leadership consultant. Then he turns to the other leadership consultant and says, what do you do? He says, I'm a leadership consultant. And he thinks, yeah, yep, lots of those. And he turns to my client and he says, what do you do? And she says, I help companies solve the problems they have from that employee who's too valuable to fire. And he looks at her and he's suddenly thinking about, several employees he's got who are too valuable to fire, but pain in the neck. And he's like, well, tell me more. That's very interesting. Can you see the difference? Can you feel the difference? Again, you can feel the difference. Where is all this coming from? It's coming from understanding that marketing helium is about the problem they have and don't want, result they want and don't have. That's it. And if you fill everything, if this is the root, the foundation, what you're going to, this is the gas you're going to put into all of your tactics, they will fly, they will soar. Otherwise, you're just using a lot of hot air. So the piece number 2 is piece number 1, marketing helium. Piece number 2 is a simple, compelling message, which is a combination of the problem result, marketing helium, with your opinions about it. And that ends up with giving you a simple, kind of simple, compelling message. All right. We're going to skip these polls, I think, for today. The question really is just to kind of think about it. I'm not going to do it officially, but do you have a simple, compelling message? Do you have that? Would you say that you have a simple, compelling message to talk about what you do? And if you don't, what would be the impact of that simple, compelling message? If you would have it, how would that impact your business? Would it, help you increase by 50%, 100%, 500%? What would be the impact? And clients are drawn to confidence. So the question is, would a simple, compelling message improve your confidence, your ability to go out and talk about what you do? And then how would that improve your business? So these are some questions to think about. Okay, again, so question number 1 is, should I pay attention? Is it interesting? And if you put in place pieces 1 and 2, right? So now you're talking about a problem they have and don't want, result they want and don't have. You've crafted it into a simple, compelling message. That's what they come across with whatever tactic you're using. And their brain goes, should I pay attention? Is it interesting? Their brain goes, oh yeah, you're talking about exactly what was on my mind. Yes. Instantly they have a second question, which is, you got me interested, but can I trust you? Are you for real? And this is where we're going to use pieces number 3 and 4. So piece number 3, we call a hand-raising free offer. Some people call it a lead magnet, but I like to call things by what they're intended to achieve, as opposed to just what they look like. So, because that when you think in terms of what's the objective, what's the outcome, what are we trying to achieve, it really helps you avoid getting lost in the details of what it is. Okay, so hand-raising free offer, the purpose of this is that you want to get ideal clients to raise their hand, to take an action and separate themselves out from the millions of people around them saying, hey, I might be a potential client. So what is the simplest, most direct way for you to do that? It's to give people a taste, help them begin to solve their problem, begin to get the result that they want in a way that is free or low cost for you and highly valuable for them. And we see these all the time: a free report, a free guide, a free webinar like this one, a free consultation, a free trial. So these are all just examples, and it gives, when your ideal client comes across it, it gives them a reason to register like you did for this webinar. And essentially they're saying, look, no promises, but I might be a good client for you. And that's how you end up having more of a conversation with people who are more likely to be a good fit. So it's a tool. It's a tool. Now, there are three things that your hand-raising free offer has to achieve. There are three objectives in order for it to work really well. Number one, it has to get their attention and interest. And it'll only do that if it's rooted in pieces number 1 and 2 in the marketing helium. So it has to be rooted in the marketing helium. It can't be about what you think is interesting, right? A lot of people go out and publish books. I've talked to people who they think that they can't grow their business until, I've got this book working. That's wonderful. It's wonderful. You want to write a book? Great. But, and just recognize that is a tactic. It is not necessarily the best for many people. It is good for many people. It's great for some. It's awful for others. It's great if you deeply understand all the things we're doing here and you choose it and strategically and systematically go about the book. Lots of people put together a webinar or a guide or a PDF or whatever it might be, and it doesn't achieve these three objectives. So I want you to understand exactly what you need, whatever you're doing, it has to achieve. Number one, it has to give them a reason to self-identify. So it has to be rooted in the problem result. Number two, it has to help them begin to solve their problem, begin to get the result that they want. And number three, it has to help them realize that to fully solve their problem, to fully get the result, they should find out about your paid offer. Because, hey, this was a good start, but I can see that if I continue with you, if I invest with you, it looks like I should be able to fully solve my problem, fully get everything I want. And that's the role of the hand-raising free offer. And you want to design it to achieve that. So I want to give you a couple of ideas. Again, this is really going to show you some examples from clients, really examples of great additional, more simple, compelling messages based on deep insight into problems and results, marketing helium. So a client of mine, I think this is still on his site. His name is Tom Z. He's in Washington, D.C. We worked together for a few years. And he offers people come to his website, a 112-minute audio training called The 7 Steps to Absolute Deal Control, how to find, fund, and profit from deals in your own backyard. And he teaches people how to replace their salary or replace their income with real estate investing. He's a good guy. He's not one of the slick shysters. He's very good. A real good guy. And he emailed me actually a month or so ago. It's been a while since we've talked, just kind of sharing about how well he's doing and saying thank you. And I love getting emails like that. Maybe one of these days you'll send me one. So the hard work that we did to uncover the problem they have and they want, his ideal client, the result they want, don't have, helped us come up with that title. Another client was a coach, and I came up with this for him. How to tell your husband you want to quit your 6-figure job and start your own business. How to tell your husband you want to quit your 6-figure job and start your own business. We got this from first getting a deep understanding of the problems they have and they want, results they want, don't have. I want you to see how compelling something will be when it's specific. Let's see here. Here's another one. A life coach who came to work with us was struggling to sell life coaching. And you know why? Because nobody buys life coaching. Nobody wants a life coach. People want to solve a problem and get a result. So I asked her, make a list of problems you can help solve, results you can enable. And she made a list, and one of those was helping parents deal with a teenager who's really being, problematic, causing trouble and being disruptive for themselves and the family. So she put together a hand-raising free offer, a report that we called How to Take Control When Your Teen Drops a Bombshell. How to take control when your teen drops a bombshell. Can you see where her ideal clients, if they come across that, their brain goes, should I pay attention? Is it interesting? Their brain goes, oh yeah, sign me up. Send that over. I want to read that. Or I want to watch that. And in there, she offered, once they go through and they get some initial progress that they can make from reading her report, then it suggests the next step. Next step would be schedule a free Stop Walking on Eggshells consultation with this life coach. All right. So I'm hoping this is really helping you internalize these ideas here. Let's see. I just want to shout out to Louis for being active in the chat. Everybody else is invited to join in as well. One thing to keep in mind is whether the simple compelling message is meant to be used as a 30-second pitch, 10-second one-liner, or a long copy marketing the website? Well, Louis, I think you're starting to see from more examples that it's the same concept, and you will use the same thinking, whether it's a 10-second one-liner, 30-second pitch, or longer copy on the website. I hope that you're starting to see that. So if you see what I'm saying, let me know in the chat. Please respond. It's the thinking that is rooted in your ideal client's mind. This is not a technique. This is not a tactic. The tactics or the technique that I'm sharing is built on timeless principles, underlying truths. Okay, let's keep moving. It is getting later. Okay, so yes, it's as Louis said, it's marketing from their potential point of view. Thank you is definitely their point of view. Specifically, the only two things that they're interested in: problem they have and they want, result they want and have. Okay, let's keep moving. I'm going to pick up the pace here a little bit. It's getting late. I want to make sure that we get to everything that I planned for you. All right. Now, piece number 4 is your get noticed sequence. So finally, we get to tactics. Now what we want to do is devise a simple way to get your hand-raising free offer in front of your ideal client consistently. And what I want you to realize is that most people jump straight to piece number 4. They don't have the deep insight that you get with marketing helium. They don't have a simple, compelling message. They sound like everybody else. They don't have a hand-raising free offer that achieves the 3 objectives. And they're here at tactics. They're doing things. They're on Facebook, running Facebook ads. They're in LinkedIn, they're giving speeches and so on. And they probably get applause, but they're not getting the clients that they want, or they're not getting the caliber clients that they want. They may get a lot of appreciation. Hey, great ideas and so on, but it's not leading anywhere. And that's why so many people are really good at what they do, and they're frustrated, spinning their wheels, not breaking through a certain income ceiling. So here we finally get to tactics, and it could be literally anything that you want that has a chance of working. It could be LinkedIn or Twitter, AdWords, search engine optimization, public speaking, PR, networking, radio, television, whatever. All of these can work and all of these can fail. And what it really depends on is, did you do the foundation work? Did you do pieces 1, 2, and also 3 before you're doing piece number 4? So what we want to do here at piece number 4 is create a simple, repeatable process that gives you the opportunity to get in front of your ideal client consistently with a message that gets their attention and interest, and then with an offer for a next step that leads them to feel, hey, yeah, that's interesting. I do want to do that. And then they request it. That leads them taking a step closer to you. They request it. It is a report. It is something. And it doesn't have to be this or that. Depending on your business, we come up with something that makes sense for you. It's the concept, the thinking first, and then the application for you second. Most of the reason that people are stuck on the path of the Charismatic Guru is because it's presented the other way. It's the application first. Do this, do that, do that. And maybe perhaps at some point the concept, the thinking is explained. But for people who like mastery, who really like, some of us just need to understand why things work the way they do, or we're never going to be able to do them really well. We can't just copycat our way to success. Right? That works for some people, doesn't work for everybody. Different people learn differently. Okay, let's keep moving. So question number 2 was, can I trust you? Are you for real? If you craft a hand-raising free offer and they go through it and they read through it, they watch what you've put together, your video, your webinar, or whatever, and their brain, and you help them begin to solve their problem, begin to get the result. And their brain asks, can I trust you? Are you for real? Do you? Yeah. And then they start to see, wow, you're presenting these ideas in ways I haven't heard anyone present this before. Yeah, you do seem to know your stuff, and you actually do seem to care. Yes, I can trust you. Instantly, they have a third question, which is what you recommend right for me? Is what you recommend right for me? And for that, we have pieces number 5 and pieces number 6. Piece number 5 is what we call the elegant sales conversation. Now, just like there's a framework here built on an underlying structure of the questions, the 3 questions that your ideal client asks, when you kind of go down into the sales conversation, it has its own framework, a sub-framework. We don't have time to go through it all, but I just want to make you aware. The biggest mistake people make with the elegant sales conversation is thinking that sales is getting somebody to buy. Sales is not getting somebody to buy. Sales is leadership. Sales is helping your ideal clients realize that we're here, we want to get there, and that you're the one who could lead them over the obstacles, through the barriers to where they want to be. Now, obviously that's only true when you are the one who can do that, right? So there's a process there. The biggest mistake people make is winging it in the sales conversation. You come to a sales conversation and you just kind of winging it. Really not much of a better way to say it. You can't see the underlying structure, the invisible influences that are happening, and they say something, they ask a question, and suddenly you have that sinking feeling like, oh shoot, I don't know what just happened, but I know I just lost control of the sales conversation. Shoot, what am I going to do? So you need to be aware, at least for now, that this is something that sales is something that lots of people who are good with people, a lot of our clients, consultants, experts, and so on, they're good with people, but they think of themselves as not a very good salesperson, because it's hard to sell yourself when you don't have a structure. Again, when you haven't learned that sales is leadership, and you haven't learned the skills, like we talked about at the beginning, it's what you do and it's how well you do it. There's a skill set here. It's important that you know that you can learn this and you can master it. Okay, piece number 6 is the easy yes offer. And this is how you package and present your expertise. And the important part is that it has to be rooted on everything else. This is the last part of the sales conversation, if it's happening in a sales conversation. I will also mention that of course, the same structure applies if you're selling through an online sales letter or a one-to-many and a webinar or whatever it might be. The same structure applies. You're just using a sales letter or a sales presentation talking one-to-many instead of one-to-one. I will also tell you that I've seen so many people over the years who try to shortcut. They try to skip the skills. Forget skip steps, skip skills. They think that they're going to be able to sell one-to-many when they cannot sell one-to-one. I have never seen that. I've never seen that. I literally have never seen somebody who can successfully sell one-to-many consistently, but they don't know how to sell one-to-one. And usually you've got to learn the one-to-one, whether it's by phone or by video call and so on. And there's a skill set there. And do yourself the favor of following, learn that, and then you'll be able to apply it one-to-many. All right, so there's an art and a science to this, and it's got to be built on everything that came before. How you package and present your expertise in an offer that makes it easier for them to say yes than to say no. And if they do say yes, then congratulations, you have a new client. Congratulations, you have a new client, because you help them answer yes, yes, yes to the only 3 questions that they're ever going to ask. Is this clear? Is this helping you understand? Now, let's just kind of reconnect this back with some of the key ideas that we had at the very beginning, the path of mastery. Right? We talked about how the path of mastery, it's really about understanding cause and effect. It's recognizing that if you cause, because you prepare these pieces, your marketing and selling system, so when they ask that question, their brain goes, yes, 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 you're creating the effect. If you're consistently showing up as the cause, you will consistently have an effect. If you are putting things in place that lead your ideal clients to say, yes, 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 you will consistently have leads and clients. And, I don't know, everyone here is in a different place, but if your goal is to add $100,000 plus to your income, you should start to be able to see now, this is how you do it. All right. It's not, as we said before, it's not what you know. It's not more and more information from more and more webinars, more and more courses. Right? So many of us are just like, we like to learn, but we're learning too much of the wrong things. We don't deeply understand the things we already know. You've got to get to a place where you deeply understand it. And how do you come to deeply understand that? Well, it's not what you know, it's what you do. It's how well you do it. It's how consistently you do it. And it's how you're being as a person while you're doing it. Now, I maintain that, if this is your first marketing or sales webinar, then fine, I'll grant you. But most of you, I imagine, perhaps everybody, this is not. And therefore, again, you're not missing more and more information. You're missing something that gives you an experience, because what you most need to know, you will only learn by doing. You will learn by doing. Mastery doesn't happen by, acquiring more and more information. You don't become a surgeon by studying more and more books. You've got to do it. You've got to practice medicine with, someone looking over what you're doing and giving you guidance. That's the way it's set up. You don't become a master musician by reading books about, music, about piano. You've got to be playing the piano and see how it goes. You got to be out there. The thing is, we need, how do I know what to do? I need to, most of the time, I assume it's true for you. I mean, you're probably ready to work hard. You probably are working hard. You're probably ready to work hard. You just want to know that you're working hard on the right things. You want to know you're working hard on the things that will actually add up to ideal clients consistently. And that's why I want to suggest that you may want to take a step and get some extra help from us. And that's why we have what we call the Plenty of Clients Accelerator, right? The Plenty of Clients Accelerator, dovegordon.net/accelerator. And I'm not going to do a big pitch on this. I will walk you through, show you what this is. And if you'd like to join me, then if you do join us on this webinar, you get an extra bonus. That is a 25-minute consultation with me that you can use for anything you want. That is worth $550. So $550 for anybody who joins the accelerator while we're here. And we'll give you up to 60 minutes afterwards, okay? I will give you a coupon code that will work for the next few days, but anybody who is ready to join, like you've had the experience with me so far, you're quite confident that we'd take good care of you, which of course we would. So that's just a little extra bonus for you. Now, we've begun selling this for $2,000, $1997. You can get it now for $997. Again, I'm not making a big presentation about this, so I'm just going to walk you through what it is. This is something that, here's the thing, we took this is the exact training that we work with our coaching clients in our 100-day sprint. They go through this exact same training. And, I've been slowly offering the training by itself with unlimited questions for people, because I want to see how it works. I want to make sure that people can really get great results from it. And, thankfully we have. I got this. This is just in the last few weeks. If you were a subscriber to my list, you might have gotten a promotion just last week. This is the first time we did this, offering this instead of in ones and twos when we're in contact with someone who reaches out to us. Sometimes the accelerator was something that we suggested. First time that we offered it, and we offered it for the $1,000 off. You can't get it for $1,000 off anymore. But those of you who came through John, we are extending that to you. So this is somebody who had messaged me saying, hey, I'm already taking this other course with this other person. What should I do? And actually my first response was, hey, look, finish that course, stay focused. But she really kind of felt like there was something that she would get here. And so she did decide to sign up for this as well. Halfway through the first module, over the moon excited. This is exactly what has been missing for the last 2 years. This is from a few days ago, right? This is our chat talk to that we have on the site. This came in literally 11 hours ago. I took the screenshot 10 minutes before the webinar started. And this was an email to Miriam, who is monitoring here. And I was copied on it. I'm finding and English is not his first language, so second language. I'm finding what I needed in this training. This is the first time I'm so eager to attend a training, and then just requested that we accelerate some access to him. And this is another person who joined the accelerator a week or two ago. I'm quite happy with the program for now. Also, English not his first language. Europeans. I find your approach effective and comprehensive. I also very much appreciate the personal touch of having real human interactions as opposed to a fully automated system. It was the key factor in my decision to start with you. We don't do big launches. We're not here to try to sell hundreds of these. We'll probably sell a few. Okay, that's what I'm not looking to. We can't handle that much. We're a little boutique, and we really like to provide human service. So let me I want to pull up something so you see when you go to, let's see here. Let me pull up the page. Just want to walk you through this. Let's see. Okay. Share my screen here again. All right. When you click on dovegordon.net/accelerator, it'll take you to this page. And I'm just going to show you what this is, walk you through it. And if you have any questions, you can certainly ask me. We have, well, it's showing we're offline because we're usually offline this time of day. But you can email me, dovegordon@dovegordon.net. If you are ready to join, you can do that. And if you do join while we're on the webinar or within the next 30 to 60 minutes, then we'll give you an extra 25-minute free consultation with me. So there's not a lot here because, again, this is pretty simple, straightforward. And we haven't yet, like, we're not selling this in mass. We're not looking to sell it in mass because of what that other customer talked about. There's a lot, you know, personal attention. The Plenty Clients Accelerator, finally, the ideal clients seek you out consistently. This is what you get. Let me just explain what this is very briefly. So the Plenty Clients training modules, these are the same training modules that our 100-day sprint coaching clients get, right? And you get 7 2-week sprints sent to you in workbooks spread out over 100 days. So every day you sit down, you know what you need to do. Really every week you can, you know, figure out what's best for you over the course of the week. Courtside coaching. In coaching, in their coaching programs, we give unlimited feedback, like really review, and we're on top of you, we're leading you, we're coaching you. Obviously that's coaching. This is our answer to those who weren't ready for the full coaching. They really were drawn to my approach, my material, my way. They wanted a lower price way of getting started. And someone actually just upgraded 2 days ago. And that's great. We always love when that happens. But that's just because he realized that he wanted more hands-on help. But what you do here, what you do get is you get the ability to view hundreds of detailed coaching examples because we have a private forum. I should probably talk about the Oasis forum first. You can ask unlimited questions in the forum. And I make a distinction between coaching and questions, feedback and questions. In the coaching, people in the coaching program, we commit to give them unlimited feedback and guidance and so on. And I think, that's great. In the accelerator, we can't promise to give you that same level of handholding. It's a fraction of the price, but I feel it's critical that you're able to ask questions. And therefore, all I ask you do is, instead of just posting something for feedback, like we do in the special section that's for the 100-day sprint clients, just formulate it as a clear question and we'll answer your questions, okay? So you get, 3 months membership in the Oasis Forum, which is $197 a month, okay? Ooh. This was from the special promotion we did, but since it's still up there, I guess we're going to have to honor that. So funny enough, you get 6 months in the Oasis forums, which is worth more than the whole price of what I'm asking you for this. So that wasn't actually planned, but I see we missed that when we copied over the page. We missed that. Okay, well, we'll honor that. 6 months in the Oasis forums, which is, that's what it is. And it's, you can see the prices aren't crazy. It really is. We do charge that. Okay, fair enough. That wasn't what I had in mind, but we'll honor that. All right. So now part of the forums is courtside coaching, which means that you get to kind of eavesdrop, watch what's going on in our 100-day sprint forum. You could see people who are getting and what the work they're posting and the feedback that we're giving them. So you could learn from dozens or hundreds of examples. And that really helps you understand what you need to do. And then you can, in the general section, you can ask questions and I and my support coach will respond, as well as others in the community. You get a monthly group Q&A call. And on this call, I'm quite happy to actually review material that you've created with the program and give you feedback. We have a call coming up, I think it's on Monday. So you can be on that soon. You get our full 7+ hour training on how to elegantly lead your next sales conversation. Sales is leadership. This is a 7-part training, makes it simple. On its own, we sell this for $497, $500, let's say, and that's included. So for that's the $1,200 plus another $500. That's like $1,700 in value there. Mental toughness drills from week 6. You start getting this series of trainings every 2 weeks. And if you stick around in the Oasis afterwards, you'll continue to get it until they run out. I think we have like 40-something sessions. So that's like a year and a half. Simple, do the work, money back guarantee. Okay. This is great for certain people. Nothing is perfect for everybody, but if you do the work, I'm really sure you're going to get a great result. So a simple do the work, money back guarantee. All you need to do is just do the work. And what I want you to do is post in the forums 9 times over your first 4 weeks. Ask a question, share an aha. Just show that you're doing the work. And if we see that you're posting and you get to that point before day 30 and you just, I put my effort into it, I really felt, and it's just not right for me, we will refund your investment, okay? That way, we feel that you're putting in the time and effort, we're putting in the time and effort, we're not wasting time with just tire kickers who are not really serious. This is what it is. I'm sure there's more, but that's it for now. So all you need to do is just come here. The link that I gave you, it should automatically put a coupon code in there. So it's LEAP, L-E-A-P. That is today's coupon code, which takes off $1,000. Press submit. Here at the bottom, we have a number of questions. What are the modules? So there's a little bit more details. You can see marketing helium, symbol compelling message. These are the things that I walked you through. We take you step by step, exercise by exercise. It's more about doing the work than about more knowledge, although the knowledge is great. And it's deeper and more nuanced than what you get anywhere else. All right, questions that I've gotten recently about this. Will it teach things like LinkedIn marketing and how to build email autoresponders? The answer is no and yes. Meaning, we don't have specific training about LinkedIn marketing or specifically about autoresponders, but the foundational work that you do will apply to any tactic, as you've seen us talk about. And we've seen people benefit from all sorts of tactics based on the foundation work that we help them do that almost nobody else does. It's skipped everywhere, right? Like that woman who I showed you, like she was in another program. She is in another program, and it's a good program, but it's missing the foundation work that she's getting now. And that's why, it's missing the helium. And we provide the helium and some balloons too. Where should you be in your business to benefit most from the program? Starting out, some clients, define a product, service, determining one, and so on. Great question. And I'll say it helps at all those stages. I will also say that somebody who already knows what they want to sell to who is already selling something, of course, will progress faster than somebody who's getting started and is more of in the R&D stage, trying to figure out what am I going to sell to who. But I will say that if you're in the R&D stage, trying to figure out what are you going to sell to who, you certainly will gain a lot by going through this now rather than trial and error, because of the framework that you're going to learn and the things that you're going to do. The exercises will be fantastic, helping you move along much faster. Now, I'm sure there are more questions. And as I said, this is not something that we woke up and decided we're going to be, do a big launch. We don't do big launches. We look to add a few people here, a few people there over time, because just the way that we work with people. I'm not driven. My goal isn't to build a 7-figure business. I'm looking to do great work with a small client group and some customers. And to me, clients are those who we're coaching or consulting with. Customers are those who are going through a training. And that's what I enjoy. I have a small team. I don't want to be working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's very rare that I'm stay up so late. For me, it's 11, 12 p.m. now to do this type of thing these days. But that's it. I mean, if you have any questions, you can reach me by email. A little slower over the weekends, Friday, Saturday. But the rest of the week, probably pretty quick. dovegordon@dovegordon.net. And you'll get personal reply. So that's all. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand. You can type in the Q&A box. And I'd be happy to try to answer that. You can use the chat box, the Q&A box, or you can raise.
Hey, Dove, can I say something?
Sure.
Hey, I just wanted to say thank you so much for this. This was really refreshing and really, I love the way you teach and you break things down. And I just mentioned jokingly in the chat here that you have like 17 kids. I think it's 6. I might be wrong. Is it 6?
It's 6. Yeah. Are you catching up, John?
There you go.
John, are you catching up?
You hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I hear you. Are you catching up?
Am I catching up? Oh, I guess I'm halfway to you. So I have 3 kids. So, just the fact that Dove operates the way that he can and that he manages to respond to his email is amazing. I mean, I feel like I'm breaking down with 3 kids. So I think it's testament to keeping things simple and focusing on getting clear on the client that you want to work with, and keeping your messages simple. And I'm a huge fan of keeping things simple. What's the saying? I think it was, everyone says it was Mark Twain, but someone said, if you want me to give an hour long, if you want to give me an hour long speech, I'll need a week. No, I'll give it right now.
It was like this. I'm sorry that I'm sending you such a long letter. I didn't have time to write a short one.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah,
that's
one version of it I heard. Yeah. And the point behind that is distilling. It's easy to have verbal diarrhea. It's easy to have a complex message. It's hard to have a simple message and an elegant message. And Dove is really good at distilling that down. So thank you, Dove, for doing this. I think this is a really hosting. Great program.
And thanks for hosting. We still have a bunch of people here. They're quiet.
Who has questions?
If anyone has questions, last chance.
Ron is here. Paul is here. Nick is here. Louis, Lee, Lori, Ken, Dolores, Deb, Catalpa.
Paul and Simon are still here. Okay, anyway, if we don't have any questions, then we will just call it a day or call it a night and move on. John, thank you for inviting people to join us. And if anyone has questions after this, you can reach me by email, dovegordon@dovegordon.net, and keep your eye open. We will send out a recording. John, thanks a lot. And Miriam, thank you for manning the chat and keeping everything in order. Simon says, thank you very much. You're very welcome, Simon. Appreciate that. It's nice to get, nice to hear different reactions.
It's late your time. So thank you, Dove, for staying up late.
All right. Very good. Have a good day.
Everyone. Okay. Bye. All right. Bye.